So, hey everyone, welcome to one of my first, I think actually my first interview. And how lucky am I and how blessed to be able to get Eli here to interview with me. So, yay, so thrilled to have you here. So we met for the first time. We met at the Texas Fruit Festival 2025 this past August. Or no, September. It was in September. And
Yes.
it was awesome. And Eli gave
Mm.
a wonderful lecture. His lecture was on how we are all exercising wrong. No, he gave an incredible lecture on that. And I was just like, it rocked my world because I had taught fitness for 21 years. I've been working out every single day, walking 4 or 5 miles a day, going to the gym 3 times a week, doing 3 sets
Mm.
of every body part. And apparently, I've been doing it wrong. And
Yeah.
after watching Eli, I was like, okay, I couldn't work out. I came home from the Texas Fruit Festival and was like, what do I do? How do I do this? Because I had so many questions
Right.
on how to do it right. So I asked Eli if today he would talk about how to do all these moves right, how to work out right. And so I'm gonna put it in your court now, Eli. Please show us the way.
Well, so just so you guys are aware, well, first of all, thank you so much for having me
Of
here to
course.
talk with you today. So this should be fun, and just so you guys know, I'll have to be moving my camera around to try and give you an angle that you can see. So I've got a little area set up over there, and so I'll bring my camera over there in a moment. But okay, was there? Did you want me to? Was there any particular question that you wanted me to address, or just give you like the general spiel
Well, I'd love, since
about?
you're sitting right here,
Yeah.
to talk about cardio. Talk about
Okay.
cardio, like, do we need to be doing these long, walks, these long sessions every
Right.
day?
Right. Okay. So with cardio, the assumption, so let's talk about what the conventional assumption is about cardio. All right. So the conventional assumption about cardio is that you can separate and fragment and just draw a line down the middle of the between the anaerobic and the aerobic system, and that these two are two different systems in your body that you need different training methodologies to train, okay?
Right.
And if I want to work my aerobic system and how well my aerobic system works, I must do steady state cardio, steady state activity.
Right.
I have to walk, I have to jog, I have to do sub-maximal activity, right? I think I think one of the reasons why we accepted that eventually is because there's a fat burning effect, right? So the longer you sustain any activity, all right, with no rest, no breaks, yeah, you'll starch through all your carbohydrate reserves, and then you'll inevitably start burning fat. They also tell you that this is what you should do if you're into weight loss. So you've got weight to lose, then this is the type of activity that you need to be doing because it burns fat.
Mhm.
Well, unfortunately, that's not how it works exactly. The amount of fat that you burn is so insignificant compared to what you're going to be eating that day, very likely. Definitely what the average person is eating, okay? You throw any processed anything in there. If that person's using a little bit of oil in their salad, there goes your 40 minutes, 60 or whatever amount of time you spent jogging. There,
Right.
that goes out the window, right? Just a little, couple tablespoons of oil.
Hmm.
So exercise is not an effective way to lose weight. That battle is done in the kitchen. Exercise conditions you. So anyway, okay, getting back to what I was saying then. So you have the aerobic system, and you have to train that separately with steady state cardio. And the anaerobic system is all the other type of activity, explosive activity, short duration activity. So that's a myth. That doesn't exist. Okay. What the actual science is great at recording what they observe, but then the explanation that they give on top of it, that's where all the wheels come off,
Yeah.
right?
Just like everything
So
else. Just like
yeah, yeah,
everything else they've told us.
right, right. So in reality, there is no way to separate these two systems. It doesn't matter what kind of activity you do, you have to be using your anaerobic and aerobic system accordingly. What they are just two different expressions. It's almost like gears, right? In a car. Um, you never drive perpetually in fifth gear or perpetually in first gear. They have to work together in
Together,
order for you to
100%.
get from point A to B.
Yep.
Okay, so that's how the anaerobic and aerobic system work. They are just expressions of one unified system. And so anytime you do anything, you are going to be using that system,
Yeah. The
right?
whole body's working all the
The
time.
whole body's working. Yeah, the whole body's working. Um, Now, why do you not need to do long duration steady state activity? The reason you don't need to do long duration steady state activity is because the way cellular respiration works, okay, during activity, it's such that uh, it the mitochondria in the cell is uptakes pyruvate, which is it's a waste product, right? A result of activity of an earlier process that doesn't require oxygen. Okay, so the mitochondria gets pyruvate stacked literally right outside the cell, and the intensity of the activity that you do, it generates more pyruvate accordingly. So if I do a wind sprint, I'm going to generate all sorts of pyruvate as a byproduct of that intense activity. Now, all of that waste product, well, it's not a waste product, it's a byproduct. That's a better word. Um, that will stack up in front of the mitochondria, and the mitochondria only has a certain rate that it can take in pyruvate. It can't just accept it all at once. It can only accept it one at a time. It's like the bouncer at a nightclub, right? If the bouncer is guarding the door and there is a massive, massive lineup outside,
Mhm.
and it doesn't matter if there's a huge lineup and he's letting in one person at a time, or if there is a massive lineup and he's letting in one person at a time. The rate is the same, so it makes no difference. Right? Like it's the exact same effect, especially to the people inside the club, right?
Okay. So that makes sense.
Mhm.
So now, how do we do it?
Right.
How do we do it?
So you do that with intense activity.
Intense.
So you can do intense uh, like intense movements, right? Almost like any kind of sustained
Like high
jogging
impact,
or
something
running
high
and
impact.
punching or something that's very high intensity that is continuous.
Okay.
And you just do it as intensely as possible. What happens is that generates a lot of byproducts. And then as long as there's byproducts sitting there outside the mitochondria within the cell, the mitochondria has to be working hard just as if it's constantly exercising.
So for
So,
how long?
so you would do that for if this is the type of activity that you wanted to do, you could do that for five five cycles of 30 seconds of activity.
Okay.
And the break in between. See, because it doesn't really matter as long as you do a couple of rounds of that, you get the effect, and you can knock that off in about 10 minutes. So I would say keep it at five. Let's go five. Okay,
Five
five.
sets, 30
Yeah,
seconds.
5 sets, 30 seconds. The rest in between doesn't make that much of a difference. It can be anywhere from a minute and a half, 2 minutes, to 5 minutes, 6 minutes, anywhere in that ballpark.
And you would recommend doing this how many times? How often?
I would probably say that you can get away with, if you're doing high intensity strength training, like I'm going to show you. If you're doing that, then I would only need to do that once in the week as well.
Okay.
So you
So
could,
five
one,
sets, 30-second high intensity, rest for as long as needed in between, and do it
yeah,
once a week.
do that once a week, and then do high intensity strength training once a week. That's that really is all you need
To be
to
cardiovascularly in shape,
yes, to be cardiovascularly conditioned.
condition.
That is all you don't even need the interval training aspect of this if you're doing true high intensity muscular work. So that's just bonus. But it's nice to get a little bit of a variety, right?
Right. Right.
So without overtraining, of course, you don't want to overtrain, which is
Right.
why you only really need to do that once a week for each style.
So
That's
let's
it.
say you were going to run in a 5K, or you're going to do, you're going to go on a hike, a
Yeah.
long hike. Will that amount of training be sufficient for you to be in shape to do that?
Clinically, there's the effects, there's no difference. So if you
Wow.
quantify what
Wow.
happens and the changes that happen when someone is trained as a steady state athlete, okay, and you put that to the test, and you give them three workouts of 40 minutes hiking, or 40 minutes cycling or jogging, okay? And then you take another participant in this study, and they only get what I told you.
Hmm.
30 seconds of activity, 5 rounds,
Once a week.
12 minutes total, okay? The effects are virtually identical,
Wow. That
which
is just,
like absolutely the same in many cases, better results with the high intensity, and so which means, ladies and gentlemen out there, that if you are going hiking for 40 minutes or jogging for 40 minutes or more, right, and you're doing that for the purpose of cardiovascular conditioning, you are wasting your time. You
ah,
don't you don't need to do any of that.
okay.
All
So
you
I've
need
been
is,
wasting my time my whole life.
yes, unfortunately. And there's the additional danger of that type of activity is that it is dangerous because it's chronic bounding, repetitive forces on your joints over and over and over. This is why every runner has knee issues, lower back issues. Totally unnecessary. You
I've
guys
had
are
all
you
of that.
guys are killing yourselves. I'd never do that. I wouldn't run a 5K, but if I did, then this type of conditioning would be identical to training, long duration, steady state.
You have no idea how frustrating it is to hear this, but at the
Mm.
same time, wonderful, glorious, but gosh, the
Yeah,
years, the training, the hardcore intensity that I taught in my
yeah,
aerobics classes, my fitness classes, and
right.
walking and 5 miles and getting it in
Yes,
when I
yes,
was hurting myself, that
yeah.
just, I mean, I have no words.
Yeah, yeah, it's not necessary, and it's 100 times safer, and less injurious for your joints and your cartilage and all of that if you just keep it short, sweet, to the point, and then walk away. And in walking away, your system is still working as if you are just doing lower intensity jogging. It's still working. It's in between all like in the rest period between those two sets of 30 seconds of work, your to your system, it can't even tell the difference because the pyruvate can only be uptaken at a certain rate. And so if you just do all that work, put all that byproduct there, it has to get cleaned up. And so that requires the mitochondria to work hard, just as hard as if you were slowly trickling the pyruvate, into the mitochondria. Same thing.
Okay,
Same thing.
this is awesome. Everyone is going to be thrilled to change their workout to this. And just see, even I mean, if anything, everyone just give it a shot. Do it for
Yeah.
30 days and notice the difference.
Right.
So,
Right. Right.
okay, so
Absolutely.
what about we want to be fit, we want to be firm, we want to have
Yeah.
a nice shape, a nice body, nice musculature. How do we do it, Eli? Show us.
Okay. So I'll take my camera with me and I'll show you. So I'm in my basement right now, and I have a very, very simple weight setup. Very, very simple. I'll also try to show you a variation of what I'm doing if you didn't have those weights, or if you had just I'll try to show you how to makeshift as best I can.
Okay.
Okay? So the way I'll have to preface what I'm going to be doing, though I can't just start. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be doing high intensity strength training. When you do this type of activity, the focus is entirely on the muscle themselves. Okay? It's an egoless type of activity. Uh,
Okay.
Ignore how much weight you're stacking on. It's irrelevant. Okay?
Okay.
It makes no difference. The weight is just along for the ride because your task is to exhaust your muscle efficiently, in a timely fashion, safely. Okay? Exhaust so that if someone held a gun to your head, you could not move. You couldn't lift another second. And you do that by being very slow and controlled. There's no momentum in high intensity strength training whatsoever. There is continuous tension. So as soon as you put tension on, it never relents. There's no point in your movement that should relent on tension, meaning that you don't, like if it's bicep curl, I'll just show you. I'll
Okay,
just show
let's
you.
do it.
I'm going to be doing barbell squats.
Okay.
All right. Now, the problem with barbell squats, if you're a beginner, is that you need some way to dispose of the barbell because you're going to be working to absolute failure.
Oh, okay.
So you need something to catch it or some way to get rid of the bar because with every exercise we do, you have to make the assumption that you're going to fail and your muscle is just going to be like as if you have no energy left.
Okay.
So when I'm going to do my squats here so that inevitably at some point when I collapse down to this position, then I can just ditch the bar behind me onto these fluffy chairs.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna grab my barbell. All right, so this is just a simple home barbell. Now, pay particular attention. I'm gonna start. Oh, I would
Yeah.
time myself.
Okay.
When you do this, it's a good idea to write down in a notebook and record all of your times. So I would have a stopwatch and I would start my timer so that I know exactly when I start.
Yeah.
And then when I fail, I get that time. And those are the only two metrics that I need. Reps are completely, that data is useless to you.
Right. And for the
Reps.
sake of this video, Eli is only demonstrating what the move will look like,
Yeah,
the movement in the move, but he's not going to be doing anything to failure. He's already worked
correct.
out.
Correct. Yeah, I'm just showing you what I would do. So, okay, I'm here, I'm at the gym or I'm at home and I'm ready to go. I start my timer and here I go. I'm going to move very, very, very slowly. All right? Very, very, very slowly. Note, okay, the direction change at the top and bottom of the movement. Notice how it happens so seamlessly and so smoothly. There's no hiccups. There's no little pop of power to generate a momentum at the bottom. Most people go like this. You see that?
Yeah,
Right? That little
right.
you people do that instinctively because they're trying to make the exercise easier for them.
Mhm.
There's a moment of weightlessness when you use momentum. We don't want that. You're interested in exhausting your muscle.
So you're never going totally down, rest, totally up, rest. You're always
Never.
engaged.
Never.
Okay.
Unless it's the contraction portion of like a bicep curl, in which case you could hold it for 5 seconds if you want. Uh, okay, so at this point, it's starting to get difficult, all
Right,
right? Because it's just continuous tension. Notice that I never come up like this,
right.
right? Most people at the gym do a squat like this.
Yep, you do like, right? 15, yep, 15 reps. Yep.
Right?
That's that.
You've just taken all the tension off of your muscles
Mhm.
and you're wasting time, right?
Oh my God.
Continuous tension. So I'd only come up to here
Hmm.
and you can go as low as you want. All right? It's all the same. Just don't give up the tension. That's it.
That is,
Eventually,
that
you'll
is,
start to fail. Okay? It's going to get really, really difficult. And you'll get to maybe about here and you just, you can't press up anymore. You keep going. You keep pushing, keep trying. It'll be like doing an isometric.
yeah.
Eventually that will fail. Like that. And you'll collapse and that's it. Okay?
Awesome. I can't wait to start doing these. I haven't
Yeah,
worked out since the fruit festival because I'm like, wait, I'm doing it wrong. I need to learn
right,
how to do it right. So I'm so glad
right.
you're showing us.
Now, if you do this in this way, guys, your cardiovascular system will be going haywire. You've never worked out like this, never, and it's a completely different experience, and you'll feel it. You can feel how insignificant a 40-minute walk is compared to this. Like you're going to be feeling this for the rest of the day.
Now, do these squats, they work all the lower body, right? Would you
Yeah,
say?
yeah, yeah. For a beginner, there's not much more that you would need to start off with. Like I could do nothing but squats with a beginner for the first 2 months, really, even more.
And then you'd
And
maybe go into like single leg squats, something like that.
I don't think you would
Not even
ever need
necessary.
to do, you would never need to do single leg squats unless A, you're athletic and familiar enough with movement and balance and what, because that there's now we're talking a heavy skill component,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
All the exercises that you want ideally for high intensity work there's no skill component to them.
Okay.
Now, you can't honor that rule if you're just makeshifting at home. You
Okay.
have to do a little. Okay, if I didn't have this barbell,
Yes.
then find anything, just anything, and hold it, right?
Okay.
A water jug of water,
Okay.
a dumbbell, whatever it is, and then
Sure.
just do goblet squats, and you can do the same thing.
I love it.
Okay. If you're really weak and not really weak, and this will kill anybody, you can do just floating in between here, air squats, and then just hold for 10 seconds, hold for 10 seconds, hold for 10. You're just trying to make your work as difficult as possible. If you fail at the end of the set, you did it correctly. So
Okay.
there's nothing that's wrong about any of that.
So one
Okay?
more question. So when would you know that it's time to increase the weight that you're using on the barbell?
Your time. Because every workout, you know when you failed to a T. So if you do the exact same thing next week and you get more time, you know you got stronger. So just accordingly adjust your weights until a weight that makes you fail around 1 minute and 30 seconds is perfect. The best way to do bicep curls, guys, is either as stable as possible, so either seated or you know what? I'm gonna use a barbell.
Okay.
This is the ideal way to set up for a bicep curl, right? Because your elbows can't your elbows can't move beyond the
Cheat. They
wall.
can't cheat in any way.
They can't cheat,
Yeah.
right? So this is the best way to do it. Okay.
Okay.
And when I start my work, it's
Slow.
low. You can pause up here at the top for 5 seconds and just contract, come down. Remember, how many reps you do. Um, this is largely irrelevant, right? Now, for the sake of this, I'm going to keep showing you with a lighter weight. Imagine I still had my barbell, okay? Same thing. And I'm going to keep going until eventually I can't do anymore. I'm going to start to fail, 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 and then that'll be it.
So Eli, do you go all the way up? I mean, is there a reason for maybe curling all the way up for definition of the muscle? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, is that a thing?
Um, you would curl all the way up because it starts to get very difficult when you contract at the top. It's just a very intense contraction.
Okay.
And you're looking for as much intensity as possible, so you can do that.
But not
Um,
to where it comes up and like relaxes,
no, you
right?
can't. That's why I'm against this wall.
Yeah.
It,
Oh,
it,
you
it-
can't do it.
I can't make a contraction
Okay.
and come to a resting position because this wall is preventing me from doing this
Okay.
or whatever. It's preventing me from doing a bunch. Okay. That's biceps. All
Bicep.
right.
Nice.
Okay. Those
Oh,
are
okay.
push-ups. Set up three
Okay.
chairs. All right. Three chairs and then exact same thing. If you want, you can go into the deficit.
Oh,
If you
nice.
you don't have to. You could literally stop here if you wanted and then
Yeah.
come up. Just make sure never to do this, right? This is breaking the tension. So you'd never do that.
Okay.
Everybody makes this mistake. I've
Everybody
never seen
does.
anyone not make
Yeah.
this mistake. Okay? You'd only come up to about here because this is where the tension is still on pretty intensely and then back down. And remember those direction changes, like the point where you go from down to up, it's seamless. It's like you're a machine, right?
Awesome. So awesome.
That's push-ups. Triceps, I could either lie down on the ground
Hmm.
and just do skull crushers with my barbell
Okay.
or dumbbells. If I don't have one of those, then doing regular chair dips, regular ass chair dips.
I love it.
Okay, it's just the way you're doing them now that
Yeah.
makes all the
All the
difference in the
difference.
world.
Yep.
All the difference. People will blast through these dips and
Oh,
say
yeah.
something like, "Oh, they're so easy." I'm like, "No, you don't know how to work out."
Oh my
Right?
gosh. I've done millions of these. Oh my gosh. And
Yeah.
I've been doing them wrong.
Then doing them wrong. Like this is starting to get like really uncomfortable real fast.
Right.
Right? because I'm not giving my muscles time to rest. There's no rest here. Yeah. And you just keep working until the bitter end.
What
All right.
about core? What
The,
about our abs?
you can honestly, for beginners, you could technically ignore that for abs are probably the last thing that you need to work out. You get that work just by virtue of doing any of these exercises. Um, s- uh, let's see. Gonna
And
grab my barbell
this is
again.
so helpful. I mean, any body part that we want to work that we've done conventionally, like now
Right,
we know how to adapt it into this
right.
method. This is earth shaking, Eli. Thank you so much. Okay.
If I have a barbell, then you can just do shoulders with in a chair, like so it's nice and stable. Okay. Again, you're gonna have to drop your weights considerably
Yeah,
because when you do, I never come up like this,
right.
ever.
Never full extension.
Never full extension. This is just cheating. You do this subconsciously because
Yeah.
you forget that when you go to the gym, your purpose is not to lift weights. That's not the purpose is for you to exhaust your muscle.
Uh,
Everything else is just ego.
oh my gosh. Did you hear that,
Okay.
everyone? The purpose is to the exhaust the muscle. Everything else, the amount of reps, the amount of all of
Everything.
that is just ego.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Ditch your ego. Don't care about what you look like. Doesn't matter that you go to the gym, work out beside someone who's got lifting all sorts of weight, and you come in there with a like a wuss doing 20-pound whatever. It doesn't make a difference. They're gonna watch how you work out, and they're gonna be like, dude, that was an intense set. Like, well, yeah, like
Have
that's
you had
exercise
that experience? Have people come up to you at the gym and said,
all
"Hey,
the time, all the time.
yeah,
Why would I not do these with doing high intensity strength training? It's because it's way too much energy on my lower back to maintain this position.
oh,
Okay?
yeah."
You don't, I would be exhausting myself that way. And it takes focus away from what I'm really trying to work. That's why I wouldn't do it. You want 100% focus.
Do you
Okay.
recommend doing full body every time or doing parts of the body every 3 or 4 days?
As a beginner, for people starting out, full body, and that will do you for half a year. You, you can make very good progress doing full body workouts just once a week.
Okay.
At some point, yeah, you will need to change it up,
Right.
but we would talk about that later.
Okay.
Okay, so I would set up two chairs like this if I wanted to do rows in a
Okay.
safe way at
Nice.
home, and then I would just do my work.
Awesome. This is so great. Anybody that has chairs can work
If you
out,
have
you guys. You
chairs,
don't even have to have a gym membership or anything. You can do all of these moves at home. That's what I
yeah,
love about this lifestyle. Everything that you teach, Eli, from diet to workout, it's it's simple. It's
it's
easy
very simple.
for anyone.
Yeah,
Love
it's
that.
it's very all things are
All
simple.
truth, all
Yeah,
truth is
all
simple.
the true things. Yeah.
I love
So
it.
those are just that's an example of some of the exercises that you can do at home. And it's just, again, you're manipulating the way you do them so that you can actually stimulate your muscles in a way that releases the growth mechanism. Excuse me. Sorry,
No, that's
I'm catching my breath because
I
like
know.
doing this is kind of hard work.
Eli,
Um,
you're
yeah. So
incredible.
I hope that was informative.
Very
There are
much.
more exercises that you can do.
Sure.
Makeshifting. I would say here's what I'll say last.
Okay.
It's very difficult to if you don't have a barbell. to do shoulder raises. So I would do pike push-ups.
Okay.
Yeah, I would just do something like this.
Oh, wow.
All right.
Wow. I've actually never seen that move.
Oh yeah.
So thank you everyone for watching. Thank
Whew.
you, Eli. This is going to change all of our workouts and save us so much time for
Oh,
better results.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So give that a shot, guys, and I hope it helped.
Yep. Thank
Yeah.
you.
You're
Thank
very welcome.
you.
Whew. Later, guys.